Hi, Gary Fong here, and I am at the Kelowna Food Bank, which is a place that we've been very, very supportive for quite a while, but it's really coming to the forefront now thanks to our friend Kimberly, who I'm going to introduce in just a minute. And I'd like to introduce you to your title is director or...
I'm the Associate Executive Director for the Kelowna Food Bank.
Okay, so the associate, and this is Lynetta, by the way. And so I took a tour here about a couple weeks ago, and holy smokes, the stuff they do here is amazing. Like this one tidbit fact that I didn't know before. Did you know that every dollar that you give to the Kelowna Food Bank gives you $3 in buying power? And that was like one of the coolest things that I never knew before, because what I would do is like I'd be at Safeway and I would just grab baby formula and throw it in the hamper, which is anything is great. But how does that work with the 3-for-1?
So how it works with the food bank is because we're purchasing in large quantities. We're purchasing in bulk. We have a great relationship with our local growers and retailers and suppliers. So we're actually, for every dollar that's donated, we can purchase $3 worth of food. We have partnerships with some major large companies, for example, baby food manufacturers. So again, we can purchase that at a reduced rate.
That's awesome. And then I saw that like sometimes the sugar comes in 50-pound bags or something like that. So one of the roles of the volunteers is to take the bulk items and then put them into hampers.
That's correct. One of the things that happens in the morning is anything that's a bulk item, we break down just so that everybody leaves with the same amount. It just avoids somebody leaving with 5 pounds of sugar, someone else leaves with 2 pounds.
Or 50 pounds.
Or 50 pounds. Everybody leaves with the same amount, depending on how many people are in their family, and just to make it equitable for the people that we're serving.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so what's happening behind us is that we have a volunteer who is assembling the hampers, and the hampers they're basically laundry hampers?
Basically, how it works is we have single hampers, couple hampers, and family hampers. So we have volunteers every day who come in and build the hampers. The volume of food going out is so high that we have to have the hampers pre-built. We are distributing anywhere between 80 to 120 hampers per day. So there's not a lot of choice for our recipients. It's pretty much what's in the boxes, what you're taking, as well as perishables, milk and eggs, fruits, vegetables. Anything that we might have surplus will also be added to the hamper. So we do have a list of what goes into the...
Right, I see that on the wall there.
That's right. So we have what goes into a single and a family and a couple hamper, and then that changes on a daily basis depending on what's in the warehouse.
Right. Okay, so then how often can people pick up a hamper?
So the criteria to use the food bank are that we need to see people's proof of address, proof of income, ID, and if they want to qualify for any of our nutrition improvement programs, we require a doctor's note. Recipients are able to use our services once every 30 days, and we're supplying about a 5 to 7 day supply of food. So what typically happens is when people are coming to the food bank, they're at that point in the month where they're saying, should I feed my family or should I pay the rent? Should I feed the family? Should I pay medical bills? Should I buy medication? They're really at that crossroads, and so we provide the food so that they're able to pay their utilities, stay housed, buy the medication that them or their family needs, and that's when people really come to us.
Right, and I've also I worked with a similar situation in Los Angeles, and we found that a lot of the people were just in transition. They just couldn't come up with the rent and the security deposit for 1 month or something like that. And this just kind of helps them get back on their feet.
Definitely. I mean, we know that the average person is about 2 paychecks away from maybe needing to use the services of the food bank. And so if, a loss of income or, an illness happens.
Or a cutback in hours.
Or a cutback
You've seen
in
that
hours.
happen.
Definitely
right.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
And that's when people need us. And a lot of people just need help once in a while. And we are a temporary service. The majority of the recipients just need us during a bit of a transition, like you say, and then they move on and they're able to become donors and support the food bank.
Exactly. And I think that's what's neat is that what I found in the past is the minute that you give someone just the help to get back together, they come back with so much energy and and they come back as big supporters. In fact, I'd like to introduce Kimberly. Come on in real quick. So let's see if we can all fit. And okay, so Come right there. So, Kimberly, I know that you're doing a heck of a lot to give back to the people of this community, and you've done so before. So tell me about the project in Kamloops and how we're going to, well, we're going to basically reproduce the same thing here, but tell me what you did in Kamloops to help the families out there.
Well, when I was in Kamloops, I knew a lot of the people couldn't afford pictures, so I started a charity event saying that I would give out affordable pictures. And I had 60 or so families come through, and I did their pictures for free at a park. And then I pretty much edited every one of the families' pictures and sent them off on discs.
Which was amazing because, like, I can't even imagine for the life of me, being a photographer myself, not having photos of my children. But that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't have an awareness of, is that, you know, people who are here, like, you know, trying to get food and make it into the next month, how can they afford family photographs? And I think what you're doing is a great thing. So what we're doing, with the help of the food bank, is we're getting together. So far we know we have at least 6 photographers and my ranch, and we're going to work with the outreach person, Richard, here. Yeah, Richard, who's going to, you know, help us find families. And this won't be a one-time thing, but we're going to get a bunch of families together. And tell me who you have volunteering. You have a DJ and...
I have a DJ, potentially a bouncy castle for the kids to play in. I have a potential caterer that is going to supply the food for the day. I have a bunch of the local businesses around town saying that they'll donate prizes so that every family that comes gets a gift. I have a couple of the grocery stores saying they might be willing to give out grocery gift cards to each of the people.
I think as this starts to build momentum, I think a lot more people will jump on. I mean, the people that I've talked about it so far have just been thrilled to be a part of it. And so what I wanted to also explain is that you're actually a person right now who's in assistance. But whenever we've spoken, all of your energy has been to giving the people who are in assistance, and you yourself are in assistance, right? But I think that's awesome. And so, I mean, once you do this, and I think we're going to go on to further doing this more, what's your plans with your photography?
I'm hoping to get into a little bit of the fashion industry, but mainly since I've started doing these events, focus on doing families for affordable rates and just keeping the people that need pictures with the ability to get the pictures.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we have to kind of delineate is that there is some concern among photographers that there are low-priced photographers taking away the work of different ones, and I think what we're providing through you is the ability for people who couldn't afford a photographer anyway to have something within their range. And so on this event that we have coming up on September 8th, there's going to be no charge, obviously, for the families, and I think that'll be wonderful. So, and then I think what we envision is at the ranch, we're just going to have photographers spread all over the place and with photos. And then after that, we'll probably do a Christmas event, maybe somewhere around here. It's hard to get up the hill, but once we do that, that'll be awesome. So thank you, because this is all your idea, which I think is amazing, and I think it's going to be an awesome event. And one thing I wanted to say about the food bank is there was a article in there was a piece in the nightly news, and it said that the food banks across Canada are really, really low in supplies, and this is midsummer where people aren't thinking about donations or things like that. During the holiday season, everybody's in the giving spirit, but the needs don't stop. And so the one thing that really killed me is I walked by the diaper shelf, and we're low on one of the sizes, and I just thought, wow, how weird would it be to not be able to like have diapers and things like that. So I think that until you're actually here and you see all of the great stuff that they do and the great organization of how the food bank is put together, I think it's just, you just get more excited about what they do to help people. So anyway, keep that in mind about the 3-for-1 buying power, because I think that's just the most awesome thing. Just think, you buy one can of formula and it turns into 3, and I mean, how awesome is that? To be able to buy formula for babies, come on, and all these other things that happen. So I think this is just an awesome thing. I can't wait for this to get onto YouTube, and I can't wait for this event to come up, because I think we're just going to hit that one out of the ballpark. Okay, so thank you very much, Gary Fong from the Kelowna Food Bank. Thank you.